PFL pay-per-view Battle of the Giants between Francis Ngannou and Renan Ferreira as the main event has been fully announced. The entire card has been announced officially just the other day. This will be taking place Saturday, October 19th, 4 p.m. Eastern here in America. The fights will be taking place in Saudi Arabia. As far as I am concerned, the co-main event will be Chris Cyborg and Larissa Pacheco. These are the two big title fights headlining the card. Some of the biggest, heaviest hitters across men's and women's MMA. Now, Francis Ngannou, obviously coming off of a long layoff, will be taking on Renan Ferreira, who has been fairly active as of late. He has won the PFL Championship, the PFL Tournament, beat Ryan Bader in their fight back in February, back in Saudi Arabia. Again, Chris Cyborg, obviously coming off a long layoff. She's been boxing. She's been doing some MMA fights. Larissa Pacheco, obviously coming off that win and a couple of other wins, previously beating Kayla Harrison. These are two top-of-the-line fights for the PFL that they can put together. Now it's a women's featherweight fight. It'll probably be better than some of the others. They're both heavy-handed. We'll give them credit for that. But Francis Ngannou and Renan Ferreira, that one's going to be fun. Renan Ferreira, very tall, very fast. Francis Ngannou, very strong, very big, very powerful. Very, very fun matchup there. PFL putting together a couple of good matchups at the top of the card. Now we get into the rest of the main card. Johnny Eblen versus Fabian Edwards. This fight was supposed to be taking place about a month ago in the middle of September. Johnny Eblen, obviously the Bellator middleweight champion. Fabian Edwards, the challenger coming off of a couple of wins, wants to fight Johnny Eblen, beat Johnny Eblen, cement himself like his brother Leon Edwards has in the UFC as a world championship caliber fighter. Can he get it done? That's the question. I predict Johnny Eblen's likely going to get the victory here. He's one of the best fighters in Bellator, one of the best middleweight fighters they've ever had. Could be competing in the top 15 of the UFC. It's very likely there. Now, the next fight, Hussein Khabibulladzev, can't even say his name, so crazy, never even heard of this guy, and Zafar Mohsen from Germany. Now, these guys, I don't really know them very well. I think I've seen Hussein, I've seen him fight maybe one time previous to this. I don't know why this is on the card other than they're just catering to the local audience, which is fine when we're talking about prelims. You're trying to put a pay-per-view together for an American audience to buy. Not really sure what they're doing there. And then finally, bottom of the card, the fight we've all been waiting for. The two biggest prospects outside of the UFC, AJ McKee and Paul Hughes. Paul Hughes obviously signed with the PFL recently, coming out of Ireland. Big Irish prospect, has a fun style on the ground. And AJ McKee, just a balls-to-the-wall fighter, well-rounded, has reached the highest heights you can outside of the UFC, winning the Bellator title over Patricio Pitbull in dominant fashion. He finished him a couple of years ago. That was very impressive. This fight, cannot wait to see this. This one is going to be can't miss. The Johnny Eblen Fabian Edwards fight is going to be fun. The Chris Cyborg and Larissa Pacheco will probably be one of the more fun women's fights you could watch. And then finally, Francis Ngannou and Renan Ferreira. Fun fight at the top of the card. It depends on the price of this pay-per-view as to what this is going to be worth, if this is going to be worth getting, if this is going to be worth checking out at all. But fun fights top to bottom. Now on to the prelims, which are pretty lackluster, if I do say so myself. Raufeon Stots taking on Marcos Breno. Both of these guys have interesting styles coming out of bantamweight. Not really sure how this one's going to play out. Raufeon Stots could put on a boring performance overall, or he could show out in dominant fashion because he's likely the better fighter here. The rest of the card features a lot of Middle Eastern, Russian types, Saudi types, Muslim types. This is nothing wrong. These guys are probably all fun fighters that are not all technically sound, but come out here to bang. I'll give them credit there, but I don't really know these guys very well. I'm not going to pretend like I know how these fights are going to go. But the prelims, whatever, it's free. Go check them out. They'll probably be decent fights. I know Nacho Campos, he's pretty good. He's fun to watch. And Derek Sanders, he's decent. But as for the rest of these guys, it is what it is. It's a PFL card. They'll probably end up being more fun than we expect, but in terms of name value, it's just not there. They're trying to show out for the local crowd, and good for them. That's what they need to be doing to promote and pick up MMA in that region. So let me know what you guys think about the card. The prelims, meh. Pay-per-view, main card, it's decent. I don't like that the Hussein fight is there. Not going to be very interested in that one, but the rest of the card is pretty solid for a PFL card. I can give them credit for that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you guys think about PFL, this pay-per-view thing, what they're going to do with the pay-per-view venture? Just let me know what you guys think. Shit on it. Give it some praise. I don't care. Throw it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one.